So today we are actually beginning our stewardship appeal, and we're going to be talking about time. And so when I saw the gospel reading today and how it spoke about divorce, and I thought of the children's sermon, I said, thank God we're talking about the stewardship of time. How many of you find yourself getting bored at times? You get bored? How often do you get bored? Pretty often. So what do you spend your time doing? Yes?
Either reading, playing a tablet, playing stuffed animals, or other stuff.
And that gets boring?
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke?
Playing outside and just sitting on swings.
Just playing outside, swinging on swings. Yes, Alec?
I forget what it's called, this thing. Like rolling your thumbs.
Rolling your thumbs? That you twiddle your thumbs?
Yeah,
A lot?
in school.
You do that in school? You sure that's not ADHD? No, I'm sorry. Yes? You play with your tablet. What do you do, Max? How do you spend your time? Sleeping?
Sitting on the couch.
Or sitting on the couch? Where's your mother? Yes. So, okay, well, I want us to actually map it out, and I want to see how much time you actually spend doing things. Where are the hands?
Yeah.
Okay. Right? Long hand and the short hand. Does that help?
I don't get it.
Right. Well, so there are 24 hours in the day, right? So this goes around twice. Now, most of the time, you are awake. And so let's just say 8 hours, you sleep, right? You spend 8 hours, you should spend 8 hours sleeping. What about the rest of your time? What's the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? What time do you get up?
I get up at like 5.
5?
Yeah, we have to because we have to go to our grandmother's.
You're not going to let your parents forget that, hey? Yes, you do get up early at 5.
I have to try to. I'm trying to get them to get a new job.
You want them to get a new job. Okay, that's right. Yes.
I usually get up in the morning. I have to get up around 6 because we have to go to. Around 7 or
right.
6:30 because we have to go to school. Otherwise, my mother lets us usually sleep in.
All right.
You go to school at 7.
Oh, you go to school at 7?
You go to school at 7.
I don't have to wake up at 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Get up at 7.
I have
Okay,
parents.
listen. I don't like messy work, and y'all causing me to mess up my work. All right? So, okay, 6 a.m., average time you get up. Now, how much time do you spend getting breakfast?
5 minutes.
5 minutes? What else?
10.
Okay, breakfast.
5 minutes.
What else do you do in the morning?
Watch my
You play your iPad. How much time do you spend on the iPad in the morning?
5 hours.
5 hours of the day? iPad, 5 hours. Right? Yes?
I usually spend time after breakfast. I usually try to sneak around upstairs and go back.
Okay, you try to spend time upstairs. So what else do you do during the day?
I don't know.
Nothing? Yes, Scott?
I build with Legos.
You play with Legos? So play is about what?
3.
How many? 3 hours? Yes?
Go to school.
You go to school. Typically, and how many hours are you in school?
24.
7?
Like 6.5.
6.5? Somewhere around there.
We're in 7.
Right. So that's school.
5.
All right. Huh?
Yeah, I do too. I have to go to Grammys.
And you go and you spend time with family.
Agreed.
So time with family. All right, maybe an hour or 2, 1 to 2 hours. Anyone else?
Baseball, soccer, sports.
So sports,
For
right?
a couple hours.
Sports, maybe 2 hours a day.
We have a soccer game.
You have a soccer game. Yes, Scott?
Playing with my sister.
And you play with your sister, so you spend time with your family. You play with your sister. Very good. Now, when we look at this, I see sleep, I see iPad, I see getting up, I see breakfast, I see playing, I see spending time with family, going to school. Now you need to tell me what's missing from your time. Because you are bored, you say.
Praying.
Praying. Right. So how much time do you spend with God?
All the time.
All the time. All right. Now, I believe you're onto something. You're actually onto something. But I want you to tell me how you spend your time with God all the time. Let him explain. Go ahead.
Well, he made everything. So.
He made everything. And so you are spending time with him. Okay. Sydney?
I'm spending time with him because he's always next to us.
He's always next to you. The question is, even though he's always next to you, do you always recognize him as being next to you?
No, not really.
No, right? Because he's invisible? That's not the only reason. That's not the only reason.
You can see him in your heart.
You can see him in your heart. Yes.
You can see him by your
Yes, Scott?
And because you can't touch him.
Because you can't touch him. Right? You spend time with God, Abby?
Yeah.
Yes. Right?
You can see him by your love.
You can, exactly. Right? And so a lot of times we think spending time with God is being in church for 4 hours.
Wait, really? Oh, that's probably Mario.
Exactly, right? But you spend 2 hours at church every Sunday.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come through the week. And so those are activities, right? Then you can spend time in the morning praying to God. Sometimes when you're lying in bed, all you have to do is say, "Thank you, Lord, for waking me and my family this morning." Right? You can say those prayers, and then later in the day, if you're in a rush, you can pray at night before you go to bed. So you can spend some time praying. Huh? You don't want to wake up? Yes, Sydney?
You probably pray every day if you say God's great.
You can, yes, if you say God is great. But what I want you to know is that you can spend all of your time with God. And how can you do that? Through this magical thing here called love. So even when you're playing, right? Just by enjoying the moment and being grateful for the opportunity to play. And so sometimes if your brother wants to come and play with you, Hannah, you're not going to be mean to him, right?
No, that happens all the time.
Right? And Abby, you're going to love Lauren and you're going to play with her and share your toys, right? And so when you do that, you are also spending time with God. Do you know that? Yeah?
Yeah.
You sound like you don't believe me.
Yes. No!
Okay. You believe me. And so I want you to think, because they're telling me I have to wrap it up because of time, I want you to think that when you spend time with God, you are being a servant of God, you are honoring God, and you may not necessarily block out 3 or 4 hours just sitting and talking with God, but we communicate with God all the time. Every step I take, every breath I make, right? Oh, that's Sting or the police say. Right. I'll be watching you, I'll be with you. You are with God. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yes. And so when you wake in the morning, when you sleep at night, everything you say, everything you do, that's spending time with God. And so what I want you to understand is, with time, you are always with God. And so repeat after me. I spend time with God.
I spend time with God.
In everything I do.
In everything I do.
When I talk.
When I talk.
When I love.
When I love.
When I'm at play.
When I'm at play.
When I'm at school.
When I'm at school.
I'm spending time with God.
I'm spending time with God.
Just keep that in mind, okay?
Just keep that in mind.
All right, so we'll end there. It's everything, all right? All right. Please stand. Dear friends,
Dear friends,
we must
We must
endeavor every day
endeavor every day
to spend our time
to spend our time
aware of God
aware of God
and with God.
and with God.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So